Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zang here, and today I'm back with Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 15 ladder, still kicking it with the Mega Lopunny team. I did make a couple of small changes once again, putting Rotom Wash onto the team over Suicune, since I wanted another Pokemon that could coincide with Landorus' Earthquakes, and I did put Superpower on Landorus after about forever. Before I was using a careful bulky set, but now I'm using just the admin max 252 spread. Actually no, I think there's a bit of investment to survive Sucker Punches from Bisharp. But yeah, we're going to jump into it and we'll see how it goes. Currently sitting with a rating of 1816. As always, if you enjoy the series, please show your support by leaving a like on the video. It really means a lot to me and I would really appreciate it. But yeah, this team has been doing, relatively well this week. It's been pretty difficult, honestly, to just because I feel like with this team, which is a bit more offensive than usual, I end up in a lot of positions where it's like 50-50 plays, like yesterday's episode if you did not see that already. But I don't know, it's still a lot of fun to use, and I'm probably going to revisit Mega Lopunny and Road to Ranked in the future. The main issue is I don't think my set is perfected, but I'm going to find a Japanese opponent with a rating of 1914 for the first opponent of the day, so a win here would be great. With a pretty standard looking team here, Kangaskhan, Zapdos, Breloom, Heatran, Cresselia, and Landorus Tease, so just really strong, bulky Pokemon. Like Lando, Heatran, Zapdos, King, and Cress are all Pokemon that tend to be bulkier built, but can also put on a lot of offensive pressure. So definitely a scary group of Pokemon to go up against. Who do I want to lead with? Just a question. The main issue here is Breloom. I don't like going up against that Breloom. I think I'm going to lead with Lopunny Landorus, so I can fake out, and I can U-turn / Superpower right away. In the back, I definitely want Rotom Wash to deal with the Heatran, the Lando, and the Zapdos. For the last one, it's going to be Aegislash or Hydreigon. I'm going to bring Aegislash here for the wide guards. And because I can shield, whereas Hydreigon, which is choice, locks me into an attack. So, going up against a 1900 rated player right away to start off today, but that's always exciting. There's nothing better on Road to Rank than to feature some of the best players you can really have. So this should be exciting. We'll see what my opponent decides to lead with. Looks like it's going to be Kangaskhan and Breloom. Yep, against my Lopunny and Landorus, which is actually a pretty decent matchup here. Because what I can do is I can just fake out Breloom and I can go for the Superpower immediately. And I get the Intimidate off against both of these physical type attackers, so can't really complain about how this lead matchup went. Of course, we already have some mind games from the start because, question is, does he protect Breloom and go for like a fake out onto Lopunny or a fake out onto Landorus? That would actually probably be his best play. So maybe I can anticipate that and like fake out the, or I could just go for the low kick onto. Okay, well I have to assess like. So Breloom can't really touch Aegislash, but its partners can, and it can also Spore away. But the thing is, if I choose to fake out the Breloom here, if Kangaskhan gets a fake out onto a Landorus, then I guess the next turn I can still just Superpower that Landorus and return the Breloom. I want to go for a ballsy prediction right away, but I guess I'll just play it safe this first turn and fake out Superpower. If my opponent in the off chance doesn't protect with Breloom, then that will put me in a huge advantage. Even if he does, worst comes to worst, he gets a fake out onto Landorus. If he doesn't fake out Landorus, then I just Superpower KO it. Okay, perfect. So I nearly didn't target that Breloom with a fake out, but I do. It does over 50% with that critical hit. Who does he fake out? He is going to fake out that Landorus, though. Staying in normal Kangaskhan form. Don't really understand the decision to not Mega Evolve there, but okay. So that works out quite perfectly, actually. This following turn, what can I do? Okay, so that was a huge turn one. I don't want to mess up, because that was really good. So the low kick onto Kangaskhan is very obvious, so I'm thinking of returning that slot instead of low kicking. Okay, Rotom Wash and Aegislash on the back. Still want to knock out Breloom if I can. That's the main priority right now. So I could also just like return Breloom and Superpower Kangaskhan. Or I could protect here. And Superpower Breloom. Okay, so Kangaskhan does switch out. The question is, did Breloom protect here or not? Cresselia comes in. So, a mighty fine switch there. Lopunny protects. Does Breloom protect? It doesn't. Cool. So I get a superpower off. I think this should knock out the Breloom. Let's see. It does. Whew. So that was really good. I mean, obviously I could have went for the return with Lopunny, but I wanted to play it safe. Didn't want to take any damage, and I'll take that turn any day. Because I just eliminated the biggest threat, really, to my team. As Heatran comes in here, though that's a pretty scary Pokemon to go up against as well. Let's see. I suspect we're going to see a Trick Room come out here. I'm going to low-kick Heatran. And switch out into Rotom Wash. Because my opponent basically has to Trick Room Protect here. But, like, once again, you know, that first turn, I ended up not making the more aggressive play, and it definitely worked out. So I'm just going to play it safe here once again. But he does go for the Protect with Heatran. I think at this point he really needed to do that play. So that's a good one at that. So low kick's not going to do anything. What does Cress go for? Oh, it actually goes for an Icy Wind instead of the Trick Room I was expecting. Now, with that Icy Wind, I'm not actually sure if it can outspeed that Lopunny or not. With the Heatran. Actually, I probably will be able to since I'm admin. Let's see. I am running a 252 spread here. 187. Huh. I think I can actually still outspeed him. I'm just gonna, I mean, like, I don't want to switch out here either, because nothing in the back can really take a Heat Wave and an Icy Wind. And I don't want to lose Edge Slash, you know what, I'm just gonna low kick the, low kick and Hydro Pump, because Cress and Heatran aren't doing anything to Rotom Wash right now. He switches out, that's fine with me. That Kangaskhan's gonna be taking some damage, so I guess I could have Will-O-Wisp that slot in anticipation, but let's see if I still outspeed. Oh, he goes for the Calm Mind, opting not to target my Lopunny, so low kick here is going to be able to take it out. The Kangaskhan out, which is really, really good. So yeah, my opponent probably predicting me to like maybe pull out a switch there, but not the case there as I knock out the Kangaskhan. So I am up 4-2, but right now there's a Cress as I missed the Hydro Pump, though that wouldn't have really done much damage. Right now the scariest thing is I'm staring down a Cress at +1 as Heatran comes back in. Let's see. So I have like taken no damage so far in the game, so I want to, you know, obviously play a bit safe here, because I think right now the biggest deal is I need to knock out this Heatran. Once Heatran goes down, Aegislash wins me the game. But Heatran being able to protect and Cresselia being at +1 is kind of scary. Let's see. I think if you're my opponent here, you... I'll play it safe here. Like, there's not much right now like Cresselia and Heatran can even do against the Rotom Wash, so I'm just going to go for the Protect. Actually, no, this is what I'm going to do. I want to protect in Will-O-Wisp here. Because I think the Heatran's going to protect. No, I'm going to Hydro Pump. Okay, he does protect though. That's fine unless the Crest decided to go for like a... Okay, so this is what I shouldn't have protected with Lopunny there, because if he KO'd me, then I could just Earthquake the Heatran for a knockout, so that was not a good play. As the Crest actually goes for another Calm Mind. Great play by my opponent there, like I said, that's why I shouldn't have protected. So that Crest is at +2 special attack and special defense right now, which is really, really scary, as Hydro Pump's not going to do anything. So we're definitely going to see a Heat Wave here. So I'm just going to double up into the Heatran. I'm going to lose my Lopunny here, because he's probably just going to Heat Wave and Psychic. If he doesn't Psychic it, then he's done for. Though I guess the Icy Wind here would knock out the Lopunny as well, and I don't have any good switch-ins. So that was a really bad last turn, because a better play would have okay, he is going to go for the Heat Wave. A better play would have just been to not protect with Lopunny. I should have just went for the return there. Oh man, the burn onto Rotom, that is not good. Oh, it's a Life Orb Heatran as well, wow. Going for another Calm Mind, what? That was a pretty bad misplay on my opponent's end, in my opinion. Because now I just knock out this Heatran. So Lopunny has put in a lot of work this game. I feel like you guys are watching one of my games from my opponent's perspective. Like, I feel like there's so many I've done this a lot on Road to Ranked, as a Hydro Pump has not been connecting today. But, yeah, I've done this a lot in Road to Ranked where I, like, just lost my train of thought. Where I basically don't target down the biggest threat because I keep on expecting it to protect or switch out. But like in this, I didn't feel the need to switch out just because I didn't want to walk into, I didn't want to take an Icy Wind and a Heat Wave with Lando or Aegislash in the back. So this is really good. It'd be hard pressed to see me losing this one, but anything's possible. I mean, Aegislash kind of just walls this Crest. They could have like HP Fire, I guess. So I mean, I kind of want to switch out and protect here. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. If he Icy wins and he knocks out Landorus, that's fine. I get a free switch in, and what I can do is fake out Will-O-Wisp. Once this Cresselia gets burned, it makes my job 10 times easier. Landorus isn't exactly going to do very much against a Cress anyway, though I guess if I had a knockoff here instead of the Superpower, it would have been cool, but Superpower was essential for the beginning of this game, so I'm not going to complain. Cress just continues to go with these Calm Minds, though, man. I'm fine with that. I am fine with that. But, yeah, I mean, I'm playing it up against a +4 Cresselia, which is definitely a bit scary. Let's see. Question is, do I Rock Slide or U-turn? I think I'm just going to Rock Slide here for damage. I don't want to force a switch out to anything I have in the back. I'm just going to Rock Slide Will-O-Wisp. Let's see. So, I mean, it's a 4-on-1 battle right now, but I guess if there's any one Pokemon that could pull out this win, it would be Cresselia. It finally does go for that Icy Wind. That's fine. That's going to knock out my Landorus, but Rotom Wash, even at the +4 special attack, is going to be able to take that easily. So if I hit the Will-O-Wisp here, I am basically good. Because then even if I don't, I can just bring out the Lopunny next turn, get a fake out. But I just want the Will-O-Wisp to hit here so I can, just start getting some burn pressure. And it does connect, which is great. Now I'm curious as to what item this Cresselia has, because it could be very well Chest Arrest. So the Heat Wave burn onto Rotom Wash earlier for my opponent was kind of unfortunate, but, it is what it is. But I definitely have to be careful. I'm assuming it's Chest Arrest here. So I'm going to bring out Lopunny. This is what I'm actually going to do. Even though that Crest is at +4, it's still not doing that much damage. I mean, Rotom Wash is doing absolutely nothing here. So I'm going to switch out to Aegislash because the next turn I can just return and double edge it. And, I mean, we'll see whether it has the Chest Arrest, but like I said, I'm really anticipating that right now, which is why I'm actually a bit scared. But let's see how much this Fake Out does. A decent amount. Oh, it's Rocky Helmet? Okay, good. I'm glad I confirmed that. That is really, really good for me. As Crest takes burn damage. Though I guess it could be Moonlight. It could have Moonlight. Oh boy. That will make this interesting, but I'm going to return and Shadow Ball here. I think it's going to have Moonlight. Oh, this is going to be an ugly finish, but return doesn't pick up the knockout, comes very, very close, but just misses out. What does Crest go for? Oh, it has the Moonlight. Are we going to see a 4-1 comeback? Let's see. How much does Shadow Ball do? Oh my gosh. I mean, if I get one crit along this course of the game, I basically win, but, a special defense drop would also be really good. I mean, it has to keep on Moonlighting, though, but the thing is, I am taking Life Orb Recoil, which is not good. And that burn on Rotom Wash means that my opponent can try to, stall this out with Moonlight. So, this is not a pretty finish right now. Came so close to KOing there. Yeah, I mean, he has to Moonlight here. If he doesn't, then he just loses. Yeah. And of course, I can get special defense drops with the Shadow Ball as well. One would be really, really good here, but let's see. This Crest heals up to around 60%. Obviously, my attacks are doing absolutely nothing at this rate. Oh, is that a crit? That's a crit, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to end up winning this one. I mean, the chances of my opponent winning there were pretty slim since I would have gotten, I would have had 10 shots to crit a Shadow Ball or get special defense drops, and even one would have been good, but that makes this game end a lot quicker, and pretty fortunate there. I should have assumed Moonlight immediately after I saw the Rocky Helmet. I guess that's why I should have went for a U-turn there, switched out into the, yeah, U-turn would have been better, just because I needed all the physical damage I could have gotten, but I'm not going to complain. I felt like I played better for the majority of that game, but in the end, my opponent still had a win condition, which made it a bit scary. But a win's a win, and I won't complain. But really intense game there. I think it's really scary to play against that kind of Cresselia set at the end, at the late game when they've set up. And it was really smart of my opponent to go for all those returns, or Calm Minds. And that's why I was a bit frustrated when I misplayed that one turn with Lopunny, because I knew it could have meant a big deal in the course of the match. Though I guess if I hit a Hydro Pump earlier on, Cresselia would have fainted, but let's just jump back into it. A pretty big win there, given how many points my opponent had there. So it's nice to see that this team can definitely function against even the best players, because that was a pretty big win there, I think. But at the same time, it's still scary. But so we're gonna jump into it and find another battle. But yeah, that was great. Lopunny really put in its weight there. Being able to protect, get fake outs off, getting the low kick KO onto Heatran and Kangaskhan was huge, and that is why I run Adamant Nature over Jolly Nature, which a bunch of people have asked me about. It is because you can knock out Kangaskhan's and Heatrans with low kick, and I think that's very, very important. But that was an exciting game, that's for sure. Just Calm Mind Cresselia, man. I think see, in previous VGC years, Calm Mind actually worked on some sets too. Offensive Cresselia was really big in 2012 and 2013. I was one of the people who used it a lot. Put an Expert Belt onto it. Well, Expert Belt isn't as common, especially since HP Fire isn't, as around as much nowadays. But Shine from Japan with the rating of 1884 is our next opponent of the day. But yeah, my point being here is Cresselia is an offensive monster and a defensive monster, which is why it was so good back in the years. It was allowed in VGC. Of course, this year a bit weaker, especially because Aegislash is around, and Mega Evolutions just are scary to play against because of their damage output, but still very good. Shine here has got a team of Landorus T, Cresselia, Rotom Wash, Excadrill, Charizard, and Thundurus T. So Thundurus T and Excadrill are really sticking out there. They're strong Pokemon, but not nearly as common as the other 4 Pokemon my opponent has. So this should make for an interesting match here. Given that Excadrill is not on a Sand team, you'd have to assume it's Mold Breaker as well, which makes it very scary, because otherwise Rotom Wash is one of the best counters, and it makes sense to see an Excadrill on my opponent's team because Rotom Wash counters everything else pretty well. So you really have to assume it's Mold Breaker here, which would make a lot of sense. Who do I want to lead with? Now let's see, Aegislash is really important here, I think, because it can Wide Guard attacks, but of course it's still going to want to watch out for the Charizard, going for a Heat Wave or a Flamethrower or a Overheat. We do see yet another Cresselia, which is always a bit intimidating to go up against. Let's see. I like leading Landorus a lot here. And Landorus Rotom Wash isn't terrible, actually. Do I want Lopunny here? You'd have to assume one of the Therian forms is Scarfed and the other one is maybe also Choiced. Lopunny here gets the fast Fake Out off. He can outspeed all 6, unless one is Choiced, which I kind of assume it is. Okay, I'm gonna go with. Actually, I don't think my opponent's bringing Crest in this matchup. I don't think that. I'm gonna keep Sylveon. I think I'm gonna go Hydreigon Lopunny here. Yeah. I don't know. Aegislash is definitely worth considering bringing here, and by not bringing it makes my Rotom Wash matchup a bit more difficult. But it's really slow here, whereas Hydreigon and Lopunny are obviously faster. And Hydreigon deals with Crest if my opponent ends up bringing it. But we're gonna see Rotom Wash and Thundurus come out from my opponent against my Landorus and Rotom Wash, which is actually not a bad lead matchup at all, because I can just Rock Slide. Though that's probably not the best of ideas, because we're probably gonna see a switch out here. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually going to... Now my main issue here is I don't really even want to take an HP Ice with Hydreigon in the back. I could just Rock Slide and Hydro Pump here to knock out the Thundurus, but I suspect he might actually Protect with Thundurus. Though I don't know if it even has Protect. Maybe it's Scarfed. I don't know. It's very tempting to just Rock Slide here. You know what? I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, cool. It works out in my favor here. No Protect, no Switch Out, so I get a Rock Slide off, which is of course super effective against Thundurus Therian. Can flinch either of my opponent's Pokemon as, wow, Thundurus went for the substitute. Not what I was expecting there. I don't mind that too much. And a Discharge coming out. Huh. That was a really weird turn of events. Hopefully I can hit this Hydro Pump. Great. I hit it. Should knock out the substitute. Or I really hope it does. Yes, perfect. So that plays out perfectly, as Thundurus actually has leftovers, which was like the last item you'd really expect from a Thundurus T. But, hey, I'm not gonna complain here. Now the main thing, okay, so obviously that was like a perfect turn because I ended up not taking any damage. I was expecting like an HP Ice or a Hydro onto that Landorus. So the question is, do I want to switch out now into Hydreigon? Because I think that might be the call here. Switch out to Hydreigon. I don't know though. I kind of just want. I mean, you'd have to assume Thundurus is gonna go for a Protect here. Like, you can't just fall to a rock. Yeah, I'm gonna predict it this time around. And I'm actually gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp onto Rotom just to put on some offensive pressure. Just because, you know, with Will-O-Wisp, it ensures that you get damage every turn, even if you're protecting. So, puts my opponent on timer basically. Okay, yeah, Thundurus does go for the Protect here, so I did call correctly. He goes for the Hydro. Okay, so yeah, that plays out perfectly, as obviously I'm going to be able to take that with Hydreigon. See if Rotom Wash hits the Will-O-Wisp here. Does hit the Will-O-Wisp, which always makes me very happy. So that was a great first two turns there. Like, really could not have played out any better. Let's see, what Pokemon could my opponent have in the back? Charizard, Landorus, T, Cresselia. I forgot to jot down my opponent's team here, so I don't remember the last one, actually. But let's see. I think I kind of just want a Dark Pulse here. Yeah. And Thunderbolt the Rotom Wash. Okay, he goes for a T-Bolt onto Rotom. That's fine. I'll take that. Bringing me down to its Citrus Berry, but my bulky is pretty... I was gonna say my bulky is pretty Rotom. My Rotom, excuse me, is pretty bulky. Specs Dark Pulse here should knock out the Thundurus T, as it does. Great. Great, great, great. He goes for another Discharge. Really hoping there's no Paralysis here. That would be great. Okay, no Paralysis. So, very good first couple of turns here as I get a T-Bolt off. His Rotom obviously pretty bulky as well, though it's interesting to know that it does not have the Citrus Berry, which most Rotoms have. And he doesn't have leftovers either, as obviously the Thundurus T did. So, really wondering what item it has here. So we're going to see Charizard Y come out here, or could be Charizard X, but that makes me feel good given that I have Lopunny and Landorus in the back. So I'm just going to Dark Pulse Rotom here and Thunderbolt the Charizard. Because he has to Solar Beam me to knock it out. If he Heat Waves, then I get a T-Bolt off, which puts it in Dark Pulse KO range. I don't know. This is playing out really well right now, especially because I don't even know what my opponent's last one is, but I've got a Lopunny and Landorus waiting in the back, and those are like two of the most offensive Pokemon I have on my team. The Charizard Y is going to Mega Evolve here, and now that I'm not using the careful Landorus I was using yesterday, I feel pretty confident with Rock Slide KOing Charizards, though. I don't know, maybe my opponent's running so much bulk, but you do have to give up a lot of special attack for that. So let's see, it's going to Mega Evolve. Dark Pulse here. Okay, Rotom not protecting, so I'm going to be able to pick it off here with the Dark Pulse and knock it out, which is great. Let's see what Charizard goes for. I'm fine with either. If it's... Oh my gosh, he's got Substitute on everything here. Charizard going for the Substitute, but that's fine. Rotom didn't protect there, went for the Thunderbolt. That's going to knock out the sub. So, I don't know, the games today have been playing out to the point where, like, my opponent just hasn't been able to do much, and actually adding this Rotom Wash was a really good call. As Landorus is my opponent's last one, that's really good for me, given that my last two are Lopunny and Lando. And, yeah, let's see. So I don't want to switch out here, that's the main thing. I'm going to Dark Pulse, I want to figure out what item this Landorus has. I mean, I don't know, we might see another sub from that Charizard, but I don't think he'll sub this time, and I'll just protect with Rotom. Though I guess T-Bolting might have been a better play there. I don't know. I think it's really interesting to see my opponent like focus on Substitute so much, but it's definitely been working out. I mean, I definitely have the advantage right now, but I don't want to mess up. The main issue is if that Hydreigon is choiced, he's going to have to lock himself into Superpower, though I might choose the Rock Slide here. Let's see. Yep, he is going to go for the Superpower, though. So I lose the Hydreigon, but now the Landorus is at -1, and that's good. As, I don't know, if Charizard goes for the sub here, this could potentially make this game very interesting. But he does go for the Solar Beam. So that is what I predicted. That's good, because I don't lose my Rotom Wash this turn. And now I just get a free switch into my Landorus, so Rock Slide should be able to actually just clean up this game by itself. Though, I don't know, I still don't know exactly what item that Landorus has, because, like, it's not like my Hydreigon has Scarf, so it doesn't reveal that it has a Scarf. But the Landorus is at -2 right now, in both in attack and -1 in defense. So, I'm just going to Rock Slide here, and I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp onto Lando T. So, maybe don't even need to bring out Lopunny here, but you know, didn't want to bring it out here. Okay, he's not going to protect with either. I missed the Rock Slide on Landorus, but I connected on the one that I needed to hit, which was Charizard Y. And, you know, even the bulkiest of Charizards can take a Rock Slide from 75% from a max attack Landorus. So I do knock it out there. His Landorus goes for another Superpower, so, you know, that's got to be a Scarf one. He actually knocks my Rotom Wash out with the critical hits. Lots of crits today at the late game, but now I just win with Lopunny and my Lando team. Ooh, man, intense games today against really highly rated players, but managed to escape pretty well, actually. I realized that I actually have 3 shiny Pokemon on this team. They're not hacked, don't worry. I'm sure people are curious about that, but they were traded from people who were kind enough, and, you know, back when X and Y first came out, it was easy to hatch shiny Pokemon, because you could find, like, people with your, like, trainer ID, or not the trainer ID, but you guys may remember that process. See, I'm just going to fake out Rock Slide here. I mean, my opponent's going to forfeit, so I'm not going to be able to knock out that Landorus, but I'm going to be able to win today's episode 2-1. Not today's episode, the second game in today's episode 2-1. So, finally the Mega Lopunny team ends up picking up 2 wins, but I think the changes I've made really have finally gotten into a place where I feel pretty good with this team. So, I don't know. I liked it a lot, and I feel like the games today were pretty intense, though I felt like, I don't know. I just said I don't know, and I feel like a lot, but, yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun, and that gives us a good amount of rating points, but more importantly, like, I feel like this team is slowly coming together, which is why it feels a bit weird to be trying out a new team next week for Road to Ranked, but, you know, I'm definitely going to revisit it and edit it more as we go along, but there's still another day with this team. Also, there's going to be a individual Pokemon analysis going up later today, so check that out as well. I'm actually going to be at a Premier Challenge today as well in Brooklyn, which should be exciting because, you know, I really want to max out on Premier Challenge wins since I currently have 3 first place finishes and 2 top 8 finishes just to get a couple more championship points, but that's exciting as well. You know, just a quick update on the real life VGC circuit. But anyway, that is all for today's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It was definitely one of my favorite ones with this team. Probably the favorite one, actually. And yeah, as always, if you enjoyed it, leave a like, and I shall see you later today with the individual Pokemon analysis. Alright, peace.